Hey, how's it going, everybody? Charlie Wilson here, aka Sinister Charlie. Welcome back. We've got some more Fat Electrician. This is the new favorite channel of the channel. Yeah, he's funny, dude. He's obviously got a lot to say. Does a lot of research. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the guy. I haven't seen any of his newer stuff yet, but we'll get into that later, I guess. I just wanted to go over some of the what people have suggested, and this one seemed like since he had a shirt made of it, it seemed like it was pretty popular. So I know nothing about the USS Texas. I was in the Navy for 6 years. Just for anybody who's new, never went on a ship once. Never stepped foot on a ship. Never had any want to step on a ship. Yeah, originally I tried to join the Marines, but I have a GED. And at the time, you could get into the Navy, Army with the GED. Air Force, I knew that wasn't going to happen, so I never even tried. But I went into the Marine recruiting office right next to the Navy one, and they're like, "Yeah, you have to have a high school diploma." And I was like, "What? To be a Marine? Come on!" But they had higher standards even back then. I think this was like 2000 and I want to say 2002, 2003. But I went to the Navy. You know, they accepted GEDs, so you know, I hated high school. I didn't drop out because I was bad at school. Bad at school, is that it? Okay. I did. It's not that I didn't do well. I just I didn't want to be in high school anymore. I hated it. If it's any, I was in the anime club, so I got beat up a lot. So anyway, let's get into it. Sorry, it's a long intro.
Gangster battleship of all time, ladies and gentlemen, the USS Texas, predating both world wars, being built in 1914, it is commonly referred to as the last Dreadnought. But it's not technically a Dreadnought. It belongs to the American New York class of battleships, which were commonly referred to as super Dreadnoughts, which are basically just Dreadnoughts that were made in 12s. And you're never going to believe this, but they were better than all the ones made with the metric system. What made them the best?
Yeah,
well, they had the largest guns ever put on a boat before at that point in time. Those being the Mark I, a turret with 2 barrels capable of launching 14-inch shells that weighed nearly 1,600 pounds apiece. The USS Texas had 5 of them, 2 in the front and 3 in the back. It was like a Freedom sedan. Those guns were also aimed with ballistic calculators and analog computers, making them some of the most accurate naval guns in the world at that point. It was also equipped with 16 Mark 8s shooting 5-inch shells, and 8 Mark 10s shooting 3-inch shells. Not only did it have the best offense in its day, it had the best defense as well. It was the first ship in world history to incorporate anti-aircraft guns, as well as having a 12-inch thick hull. Yeah, an entire freedom foot of Pittsburgh steel. The only thing millimeters is going to do to that is scratch the paint. So you have the best battleship ever made at that point in time. How do you make it more intimidating? That's easy. You have it be the first American ship to ever incorporate Marines in its crew. I'm going to say that again, but slower.
Yeah, I'm not going to have a whole lot to say. I don't know anything about this, but yeah, I did find out he was in the Army. Some people said he was in the Marines. Some people said National Guard and stuff. And yeah, so yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for the comments. But yeah, good so far.
They let the fucking water grunts drive the biggest aquatic gun ever made. At that point in history, anyways.
Makes sense.
World War I rolls around, and needless to say, nobody wanted to be the first to get hit with the Freedom sedan. And for that reason, the USS Texas saw almost no combat in World War I. But its actions in World War II is what made it a naval legend. By the time World War II came around, the USS Texas was...
The fact that it's still around that long, even back then, like built in the, 1900s, 1910, do you say? I don't know. But during World War I, then all the way to World War II. That's crazy.
3 decades old. It was no
yeah,
longer the
there you go. He said what I was saying.
With bigger, newer, faster, fancier ships like the German Bismarck, the Japanese Yamato, and the Iowa-class battleships. But its crew did have 30 years of experience, and as the old adage goes, youth and exuberance is no match for old age and treachery. Which is something that the USS Texas lived up to because it is the only U.S. battleship to engage the enemy in all 5 theaters of World War II. D-Day, June 6, 1944. The USS Texas would take its position 12,000 yards off the coastline. At which point the USS Texas was tasked with bombarding the enemy fortifications. And it did just that, firing over 255 rounds in under 34 minutes.
Well, that's a lot.
108,000 pounds of ammunition.
It's quite a bit.
Let's put that into perspective. Your average Volvo weighs about 4,000 pounds. Meaning that the Texas was shooting the...
I didn't even know Volvos were still around. I might be thinking of Saab, but yeah, I haven't seen a Volvo in years.
Enemy with about 3 spicy Volvos a minute for half an hour straight. I'm trying to tell you that the Grim Yeater over here bitch slapped the enemy's coastline with an entire car dealership in the amount of time it takes you to watch a TV show. The Grim Yeater would continue to airmail spicy Volvos to the enemy until June 11th, when it ran out of ammo. Would then sail to the rear detachment off the coast of France to pick up more ammunition, and then sail back to continue engaging the enemy. By the time it had returned to the beach at Normandy, the Allied troops had driven the enemy so far back that its guns could no longer reach. So it advanced from 12,000 yards to 3,000 yards, the closest they could possibly get without beaching the ship. It is at that point in time the USS Texas said, "Hold my beer," and flooded all of its blister tanks on the starboard side, tilting the entire boat.
Wow.
Changing the angle of the guns, allowing them to reach further inland.
That's crazy.
Gangster leaned a 32,000-ton
That's awesome.
ship so they could continue to engage the enemy. This might be the most grunt-horrific moment in world history.
That's pretty awesome, dude.
Playing the board game Battleship, and whoever you're playing says, "I've sunk my own battleship, prepare to die," and then you get hit with a fucking car. Look, I know I talk about this a lot, but this is a great example of the type of shit that goes on when you hit the dock or the officer. It's not necessarily a war crime, but Geneva didn't necessarily know that shit was even a fucking option. The USS Texas with the...
Yeah, war crimes that's weird, unless it's like mass genocide or like, I don't know. It would have to be like, technically, I guess the nukes dropped on Japan would be considered a war crime. It should, I guess it kind of should be, shouldn't it? I don't know. But yeah, war crimes, it's iffy. It's iffy.
Then go on to engage the Japanese Empire at Okinawa and Iwo Jima. After World War II, it would retire and start the Americans' proud tradition of having their best battleships become floating museums. Unlike all the other best battleships in the world who have a proud tradition of becoming tetanus-infested fish habitats, like the Japanese Yamato, delicately placed here by the USA, and the German Bismarck, delicately placed here by the USB,
well, that's nice
also known as Great Britain. If you don't know, the Bismarck and the Yamato are the two battleships that people like to argue are better than the Iowa-class battleships. Given the fact that all the Iowa-class battleships are floating museums that you can see anytime you'd like, and you need scuba gear to see these, it raises the question, what are they better at besides being shitty submarines? For information on the most gangster battleship of all time, you can go to battleshiptexas.org. You can donate, buy memorabilia, or even buy a piece of the ship itself to help preserve this naval legend. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We have 4 new shirt designs and sticker designs available at my website. Link for that should be in my bio or the video description, or you can go to bunkerbranding.com and look up the Fat Electrician. Until next time, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. No. Thank you. Yeah, and I'll put the link to his channel in the description below. Yeah, so you can go there and go to his stuff. But yeah, I appreciate. Thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah, the support for me doing these videos has been a lot. So thank you. It's I don't want to say overwhelming. It's only like 1,000. It's 1,000, 2,000 views, but it's like it's the most I've ever seen usually these days. But thanks. I'm just trying to say thank you. But yeah, please like and subscribe down below. And if you got any suggestions, any comments, put them down there. You can leave suggestions, or you can just call me a jerk. That's cool too. Some people do that. Yeah, but thanks a lot, and bye.